Get updated on the latest news on health in and around the Philippines by visiting our official website, www.radiokalusugan.com. Get to listen to Radio Kalusugan 24/7 in high definition. Get the latest update on our current and upcoming activities. Read various health tips and trivias. Buy and get discounts on all Radio Kalusugan products. Our website is jam-packed with information, news, and awesome content in health and more. Give us a click today, www.radiokalusugan.com. The podcast edition of Kalikasan Kalusugan is also available worldwide by visiting radiokalusugan.podbean.com. You may also listen to all our podcast shows direct on our Facebook pages, but available only for laptop and PC devices. Kalikasan Kalusugan and other Radio Kalusugan podcast shows will soon be available globally on Spotify, Amazon Music, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Kalikasan Kalusugan is shared and streamed live to more than 3 million combined followers on Facebook and YouTube, powered by IBS Media. Just look for Radio Kalusugan on Facebook and YouTube to watch our previous programs, including Kalikasan Kalusugan. Please don't forget to follow, subscribe, share, click the bell button, and get notified when any of our programs go live. Radio Kalusugan is the first health-focused radio in the country. And you can catch Kalikasan Kalusugan soon for free on your radio sets over DWCO 103.1 FM, Calabarzon Region. Radio Kalusugan 103.1 FM is a proud member of the KBP, the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters ng Pilipinas. You can listen to Radio Kalusugan via online, anytime, anywhere in the world, using your smartphone, tablets, laptop, computer, and smart TV, simply by typing "Listen to Radio Kalusugan" on Google search. Download our exclusive radio app on Google Play and Apple Store. Radio Kalusugan is also available on radiophilippines.com, mytuner.radio.com, streama.com, radioline.co, and the website of KBP Calabarzon. You may listen to us by visiting our website, www.radiokalusugan.com. Radio Kalusugan Online is available 24 hours a day in standard and high-definition formats. Magandang araw sa ating mga tagapakinig at nanonood dyan ngayong araw. Miyerkules ngayon. Partner, ano masasabi mo?
Batiin muna natin, partner, yung mga nakikinig sa atin sa buong Pilipinas, sa Luzon, Visayas at sa Mindanao. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. At pati na sa ating mga OFW sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo. Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Partner, sa panahon ngayon, medyo maalinsangan dito, partner. Pero kaya tayo, partner, dapat laging handa. Dahil minsan biglang ulan, kaya dapat tayong lahat ready sa ating mga bubong parang hindi tumutulo. Kaya dapat para magiging sigurado tayo, partner, mag-serialum tayo, partner. Hindi na kailangan pinturahan dahil printed na ito. At saka, partner, maraming benepisyo ang serialum, partner. Pati sa radiation, partner, nahaharangan. Kaya maganda yan. Dapat ang lahat nagiging ready sa lahat ng pagkakataon. Partner, kumusta? May bisita tayo ngayon, partner, di ba?
Oo.
Anong kategorya ba niya, partner?
Ang kwan ngayon ay tinatawag na breastfeeding week ngayon sa buong mundo. Sineselebrate sineselebrate ng buong mundo ngayon yung ina at yung kanyang duty, yung talagang breastfeeding program para sa kalusog ng mga anak nila. At of course, lalo na sa mga mahihirap, nakakatulong din ito sa pagdating sa mga gastusin. Bukod sa sigurado silang malusog ang kanilang mga anak, ay tiyak malaking katipiran ito, partner. Ang ating guest ngayon ay si Vanessa Liwanag Librero, BA Philippine Arts graduate of UP Manila, former NGO worker at the Child Focus Humanitarian Organization, former theater artist, currently an events organizer and cultural worker based in Laguna. She is a breastfeeding peer counselor, breastfeeding and gentle birth advocate, Magandang hapon. Miss Vanessa, are you there? Partner.
Oh, hindi pa nakapasok si Ma'am Vanessa, no? Baka nasa studio pa, partner eh. Ano, partner? Ano natin mamaya, partner? Anong makakatulong sa atin, sa ating kalikasan? Hanggat inaantay natin si Ma'am Vanessa.
Ang kalikasan kasi, kung titignan mo, yung breastfeeding kasama yan. Kasama yan sa kalikasan at saka sa kalusugan, no? So, hindi ho tayo mawawalan ng mga topic para sa kabubuti ng kalikasan at ng kalusugan, no, ng tao. Kaya itong linggong ito, inaano natin yung tinatawag natin na celebration, no? Breastfeeding celebration ngayon. So, together with that, kailangan natin lalo ng panahon ngayon. Alam mo, partner, ang problema sa kalikasan ngayon is that ang produksyon ng mga pagkain is threatened. So, ngayon, ang pinaka-vulnerable dyan, lalo na yung mga bata. At saka nakita mo, partner, wala pang isang buwan, nagkaroon ng case sa abroad na merong contamination yung mga feeding formula. Kaya winidraw, kaya nagkakaubusan. So, malaking problema yan. Kaya nga, kailangan tamang-tama itong topic na ito na may share natin sa ating mga mamayan. At marami kasing mga din ito, mga pananaw na mali-mali. Alam mo ba, partner, na kahit nagsimula ang ina na hindi breastfed, kahit 2 months after, 3 months after, pwede pa pala mag-breastfeed ang mother. Madali lang pala yan. Oo. Pwede pala yun. Kaya talagang dapat nito noon pa natin naging topic ito nung panahon ng pandemic. Yung taghirap.
Sige, partner.
Sige, partner.
Sige. Kasi partner, napapansin ko, partner, kapag ang isang bata, mamaya malalaman natin kay Ma'am Vanessa, no? Kapag ang isang bata ay dumididi sa nanay simula ng sanggol, napapansin mo hindi sakitin, partner eh. Yun ang napapansin ko kasi siyempre alam mo naman, laki tayong probinsya. Nakikita natin agad dito sa Maynila, nakikita mo halos lahat kunting ambon lang dala agad sa doktor kapag ang bata ay nakadidi sa bote. Pero kapag sa nanay, talagang makikita mo medyo malusog. At pangalawa, hindi hassle sa mga magulang na magtimpla ng gatas, mag-sterilize nung supon, kumbaga ang daming hinahanda. Samantalang pag minsan nakikita mo yung bata pag dumididi sa nanay dudukot na lang sa dibdib. Kusa yung bata, partner eh. Hindi mo na kailangan na utusan o hindi mo na kailangan timplahan pag medyo pagod. Basta magsuot lang yung nanay ng medyo maluwang ng kote. Makikita mo yung bata. Kumbaga alam na alam ng bata kung saan siya maghahanap ng pagkain kung nagugutom.
Yan nga. Tsaka hindi hirap ang magulang.
Totoo yan.
Natatayo-tayo, ganyan. Talagang kahit nakatulog siya, nakadede lang yung bata, kaya okay na eh. Safe na yung bata. So,
Saka
malaki talagang advantages niyan. Malaking advantage. Healthy, less ng gastos. Tsaka, pati sa health condition ng magulang, na nakatulog ka lang, nagdedede ka, nagfi-feeding ka, hindi talaga, hindi mo masasabing pabigat ang bata. Pero pag yan bottle fed, ay nako, kailangan kang bumangon. Hindi mo naman magawang magtimpla muna bago kung kailan gutumin ng bata, masisira na yung gatas. Di ba? So, hindi mo magagawa yung mga gano'n, no? So, malaking oras ang talagang naabala dyan sa mga formula na yan. So, dapat ma-realize ng mga tao na malaki ang advantage talaga ng breastfeeding. So,
At saka partner, yung napapansin ko rin dyan, kasi siyempre laki ako ng lola. Kapag ang bata may sakit, yung nanay, yung didi ng nanay, kusang nagpo-produce siya ng medisina para gumaling yung bata na may karamdaman. Yun ang napapansin ko, partner eh. Samantalang kung ang tinitimpla mong gatas, although na may sustansya pero hindi sapat, para lang yung pinag-usapan natin sa vitamin D, partner na nagbigay sila ng vitamin D pero mas higit na yung didi ng nanay, mas higit, yung sa araw, mas higit na vitamins. Kaya ganun din sa didi, partner.
Andito na ang ating guest.
Ma'am Vanessa, magandang
araw po sa iyo.
Kumusta po kayo, Ma'am Vanessa?
Magandang hapon din. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Thank you for inviting me to guest in this radio show, lalo na ngayon at August at sineselebrate ang World Breastfeeding Celebration in the whole world. So every first week of August, from August 1 to 7, lahat ng mga supporters ng breastfeeding ay nagse-celebrate po at nagtataguyod po ng breastfeeding advocacy. Hindi lang po sa Pilipinas, pero worldwide po siya.
Okay. Buong mundo pala, no?
Apa.
Kaya natutuwa po kami makasama kayo na Ma'am Vanessa at saka na ma-share mo yung lahat ng natutunan mo sa ating mga tagapakinig kasi inaabangan nila yan dahil alam nila na i-introduce mo kung paano at yung itong buwan nga ng August, ano? Sige Ma'am Vanessa, at alam namin mayroon kang i-share screen mamaya para sa mga kaalaman ng lahat, ano, sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam kung paano gamitin ang sarili nilang gatas.
Actually, maganda po yung mga introduction nyo kanina. Parang pwede ng question and answer na lang kasi ang ganda na introduction nyo. And, true po yan. Kailangan talaga natin ipagpapatuloy pa ang pagpapasuso o breastfeeding. Kasi ang goal po ngayon ng August 2022 na breastfeeding advocacy is to step up breastfeeding education. Kasi alam naman natin na hindi naman ligid natin sa alaman natin. Alam natin na beneficial ng breastfeeding, pero bakit hindi natin nagpapagawa na suportahan ng mga nanay mag-breastfeed? So marami pong stumbling blocks. Unang-unang po ay ang wrong information o misconception sa breastfeeding. So i-share ko lang po ngayon mga ilan dahil limit ang nasabi sa akin ay 15 minutes lang daw ang aking presentation. So
Pwede extend.
Tuloy po ma'am hanggat mayroon po kayong may share sa amin. Ano po yan ma'am? Hanggang matapos ang show natin hanggang alas 7 tayo. Pwedeng tuloy-tuloy po niya, no?
Sige po. Bali, I will try to share my slide po.
Sige.
Si-share screen nyo lang po para makita ng lahat.
Opo, right na lang po. Nako, try natin.
Sige. Antayin natin yan.
Ang dami na share. Baka iba na yung ibang topic na yung na-share ko. Try ko lang po, ha?
Partner, mukhang madilim ang background mo. Hindi makita ang mukha mo.
Ano?
Madilim ka, hindi klaro ang mukha mo.
Hindi.
Maliwanag,
Sige, mamaya.
maliwanag ang likod mo, pero ang mukha mo madilim.
Yung sa likod. Sadyang maitim lang talaga.
Hindi, madilim talaga, partner.
Akala ko kalikasan talaga partner na maitim eh. Mamaya,
Hindi,
partner, lagyan natin ng ano yan.
Kaya ako minsan nag-iikot ako kasi pag may portion na madilim pala eh. Kasi nga mag-reflection ng sun, pag background mo maliwanag sa iyo, madilim ka, ang background mo maliwanag.
Ay. May in-upload po akong file pero hindi ko alam kung siya ay na-broadcast. Okay, ayan po. Subukan natin.
Partner, alam mo pala yung sa breastfeeding, marami pala talaga mga kabutihan ang naidudulot niyan. Talagang hindi natin akalain. Yung ignorance lang natin dito, ang laki pala talaga ng contribution ng breastfeeding na hindi alam ng ordinaryong mga tao. Maski ako lahat ng anak ko, partner, kung tutusin, breastfeed lahat yan. Kaya lumaki sila na talagang kahit hindi sila nagsisitabaan, kahit malalakas kumain yung mga anak ko, partner, yung mga babae, hindi talaga sila nagtataba kasi nga talagang ang lahat isang taon mahigit kung ang breastfeed ng mga yun. So, kitang-kita yung benepisyo talaga ng breastfeeding. Wala kang mga obesity problem, mga ganun, kahit ang lalakas namin kumain ng karne, kanin, lahat. Kaya kung titignan mo talaga, hindi lang bata ang nagbe-benefit, pati nanay. Ang nanay, naiiwasan ding tumaba.
Oo nga, oo.
Kasi nakakaubos yun ng butterfat, partner. Yung mas akala ng iba, mas mahirapan yung katawan, mas madali mas madali ang mga inang magpa-slim. Ika nga, yung mga kuan. Kasi ang mataas ang butterfat content ng gatas eh. Kaya yung mga hard to burn fats ng katawan ng mga babae, ng mga ina, ay yun ang kinakain. Kaya mas lumalabas na mas fit ang mga magulang, pati yung mga anak nila. So doon pa lang panalo ng malaki, partner. Hindi nagagastos sa gym ang mga ina para lang para lang ibalik yung dati nilang katawan at saka healthy.
Oo. Partner, mamaya papasok si Doc, tumawag si Doc ngayon. Kaya nag-audio ako. At papasok si Doc. Hinahanap niya yung link, kaya binigyan ko na siya, pinasama niya. Mamaya makasama natin si Doc, kasama ni Ma'am Vanessa, no? At batiin muna natin, partner, yung mga Garaldi family, partner, nasa Tres Pinos sila sa may Infanta Quezon, partner. Nagkaroon ng konting kasiyahan, sama-sama sila sa Infanta Quezon. Si Antonio Garaldi, kasama yung buong pamilya niya, sila si Marvin Garaldi, at saka si Dennis Garaldi, si Alan, at saka si Nelson. Kasama yung pamilya nila, partner. Kaya tinabati natin pati si Nora Pedroso at saka si Reynald Pedroso, nasa Infanta Quezon sila, partner. At saka si June Ramos. Ayan, marami sila, partner. At binabati pa rin natin pala, partner, diyan sa may Montalban, sila si Glenn at saka sila si John. Ma'am Vanessa, naka-ready po kayo, Ma'am Vanessa?
Hindi ko alam paano i-work yung slide kasi try ko lang po na.
Sige ma'am, hanggat ikwento nyo muna sa amin hanggat naghanap kayo sa kung okay lang po para sa kapakinabangan ng lahat eh.
Sige po. Bali po, since ang theme po ngayong August sa World Breastfeeding Week ay Step Up for Breastfeeding, kailangan pa natin paigtingin ng education at support. Kasi ang breastfeeding, iniisip natin, education lang ang kailangan. At parang nangyayari, ang burden ay napupunta sa nanay lang. When in fact, hindi lang dapat ang nanay ang nakakaroon ng breastfeeding education. Pati yung kanyang asawa, pamilya, at lahat ng magiging kasama niya sa bahay at sa komunidad. So paano po natin magagawa ito? Una, kailangan natin baguhin yung perception natin about breast milk or breastfeeding. Dahil, try natin yung PowerPoint.
Nawala si Ma'am Vanessa.
Partner. Ang panahon talaga ngayon, talagang kailangan magiging masinop na tayo, no? Dapat turo natin sa ating mga tagapakinig yan, lalo na yung mga alam mo, partner, isang bagay nakita kong dahilan diyan, no. Karamihan ng mga alam naman natin mas mataas ang pregnancy ng mga kabataan, no? Ang isang matinding mindset na hindi ko nagustuhan diyan, partner, is that ang feeling nila, partner, maapektuhan yung kanilang katawan. Kaya ang ginagawa nila, hindi sila nagpapasuso. So yun ang isang gusto ko itanong dyan mamaya, na totoo ba talaga na pagka nagpadede ka, babagsak ba yung dede ng isang ina? Or hindi? Makakabuti ba yun? O hindi? Yung mga ganong myth, kasi karamihan na, lalo na rin yung ibang mga may kaya, ay ayaw nilang masira yung kanilang figure ko, no? Isa sa mga tanong natin yan mamaya, partner, kung totoo ba itong mga haka-haka na ito, no? So, kasi dapat masagot natin yung mga ganong mga pag-iisip, kasi kung nakita natin ang benepisyo pala, mas nami-maintain nila yung kanilang katawan, yung kanilang kalusugan, at the same time, dapat maalis natin yung ganong mindset. Kaya mamaya tatanong natin yan kung ano ba talaga ang contribution ng pagdating sa na yan, ng once and for all, mabura natin yung
Yung kaisipan na
ano yan,
mas maganda kapag
kaisipan.
kasi nga ang
Mm.
kaalaman nila mas maganda kapag
Mm.
nasa gatas ng nabibili kasi sa commercial partner ang ganda ng pakinggan pero hindi lingid sa kaalaman ng lahat na mas mahigit ang bitamina sa ng nanay, gatas ng nanay.
Sila. Partner, nawala yata yung ating guest.
Oo nga
Baka pasukin, gusto mong pasukin na andyan na ba si Doc? Pwede na may pasok si Doc.
Oo, si Doc, pwede nating papasukin. Nawala yung guest natin, Sir F. Kasi, sige, hanggat na-miss na natin yan si Doc Alan
Si Doc.
Mahaba-habang panahon din wala
Sige, tawagin mo si Doc.
I-welcome natin yung ating butihing doktor at pagkahusay at talagang very humble doktor. Dr. Alan Landrito. Doc Alan, kumusta po?
Magandang hapon, Doc.
Gusto nata si Doc Alan
Miss na miss ka na namin at ng mga ating mga tagapakinig at tagapanood ng natin sa programa natin tsaka sa kanyang Zoom. Nasa backstage na ba si Doc?
Wala pa rin, partner Baka nagkakaroon ng problema yung internet, partner.
Palagay ko nga. At kaya hindi tayo na kaya nagkakaano tayo, hindi bale. At tayo na may tamang-tama yung Ano ba, partner? Nakatatlong beses na atang labas-pasok yung sampayan dito sa mamaya, napakainit, tapos biglang uulan, and then iinit ulit. Grabe.
Oo nga Grabe
Kaya
na ngayon, partner,
talagang ibang-iba na. Sir F, pakipasok si Sir F.
Wala pa rin, partner Sige, hayaan mo, partner. Antayin na lang natin. Oo. Tsaka, partner maganda ngayon kasi total nasa na tayo. Nasa buwan tayo ng August. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Vanessa, panahon na yun ng breastfeeding. Pero dahil sa medyo nawala yung signal, hindi natin alam. Alam naman natin alam naman natin yung internet natin, partner, medyo nagloloko, Kaya ayan, suportahan natin. Nananawagan kami na suportahan natin yung breastfeeding. Kasi ang totoo, partner, diyan sa mga mall ngayon, partner, ang nangyayari, nagkakaroon na sila ng isang cubicle para doon sa mga ina na nagpadidi. Mayroon ng ngayon hindi tulad natin na wala. Kaya ang ganda ng nagiging ng government ngayon tugon diyan. Kasi pinaglalaanan talaga, kasama na sa kanilang programa yan na kailangan mayroong isang area sa bawat mall o isang building, mayroon din nakalagay. Kaya napansin ko yan, unang-una napansin ko yan dyan sa Makati. Ngayon pati sa Quezon City mayroon na rin yan. Pero talagang ang strict dyan si Mayor Abby Binay. Talagang pinapatupad niya yan sa lahat ng establishment yan sa Makati. Kaya kahit medyo medyo nakabihis ka at napunta ka roon sa isang area, may mga cubicle sila na lahat puro nanay lang at yung kanilang mga anak. Kaya nga sineselebrate natin ngayon itong buwan na to, kaya napapasigla tayo. At hanggat inaantay natin, partner, si Doc Alan, ano bang maidagdag mo sa kaalaman tungkol sa panahon natin ngayon, partner? Kasi kung mapapansin natin, partner, masyadong mainit Pero umuulan naman, biglang ulan. Tapos napagkaalinsangan. Ano bang natin? Ma-share
Actually,
natin.
partner, may bagong news ngayon Ang temperature sa Mediterranean Seas, malamig yan, partner, para lang sa Caribbean, Dati 22 to 28, nasa 30 plus na sila ngayon. Ngayon pa lang, Nasa 30 plus degrees centigrade na sila. So, talagang yan ang nagbabadya nasa stage na tayo ng the 5th extinction or the 6th extinction na ba tayo face. Ibig sabihin nun, partner, talagang marami ng species sa atin na namamatay. We are now in the verge of this or in the middle of this extinction that it so happens every million years, Pero this is the first time, partner, na this kind of extinction is anthropogenic. Ano ibig sabihin ng anthropogenic? Kasi mga extinction ng panahon, partner, let's say may malaking meteor na tumama sa atin nung panahon ng mga dinosaurs, Yan, uminit ang mundo. Yung naman volcanic eruption naman, na tinakpan yung ating ang kalawakan natin na nagbabagsak naman sa ating temperatura. So, yun ang mga nagkukos yun ay mga natural event yun, partner. Pero itong extinction natin ito is anthropogenic, man-made. Now, marami nagsasabi kasi diyan, partner, na yung sun, may cycle ang sun. That ngayong panahon natin, nasa cycle tayo na napakainit ang ating araw, yung sun. So sabi nila ng mga pundits na anti-climate change is that this warming, global warming, is a natural event. Yan ang sabi nila eh. So wala kang magagawa doon. So hindi talaga dapat nating panyo, no? Hindi talaga dahil
dapat gagawa tayo ng paraan. Pero partner, maputol muna kita diyan. I-welcome muna natin ang ating very humble doktor at napagkahusay na doktor at nami-miss na natin yan. Mahal na mahal natin yan doktor na yan. Matagal na. Si Dr. Alan Landrito. Doc Alan, kumusta po? Ready na daw po ready na si Doc Alan eh.
Magandang hapon po, Doc.
Doc Alan, Sir F. Hindi pa rin siya nakaka-ano. Sige, partner, ano ka muna. Ituloy mo nga muna, okay, partner. Tawaan kita kapag nandiyan na si Doc.
So, partner, kung titignan mo talaga, kung napapansin mo, kung ating radio kalusugan ay araw-araw lang ito, partner, makikita mo yung lahat ng about climate change, araw-araw na pagbabago na makikita mo mga sakuna dito, sakuna doon, yung mga observation dito. Halos araw-araw pumapasok. Andyan na. Hindi tulad nung dati na after a month, after 2, may sasabihin siyang ganyan, ganitong pangyayari. Ngayon, partner, tingnan mo, halos all around the world, makikita mong report dito araw-araw. Talagang doon na nakatutok sa climate change, sa global warming. Ngayon, ang sinasabi ko naman doon sa mga pandit na yung global warming is due to natural event. Pagpalagay na po natin, granting without admitting, no? Na totoo yun, na talagang nasa cycle tayo ng sun cycle, sa phase ng cycle ng sun, na mas mainit ngayong millennia na ito, ngayong taon na ito. Pero ang tanong ko, partner, ganito. Nung unang panahon, at ang pinagkaiba ng global warming ngayon, kung sanhi ba yan ang pagsikat ng araw, ang pinagkaiba noon at ngayon, partner, noon ang dami pang partner ang dami pang forest sa buong mundo. Yung ating hindi pa polluted, wala pa tayong deforestation, hindi pa polluted ang population natin doon. Kakaunti, wala pang industrialization doon, partner, no? So makikita mo, very vibrant pa yung ating mga karagatan. Nandiyan na lahat ng klase ng plankton, nandiyan lahat ng klase ng mga buhay na siyang nagsusuporta sa ecosystem ng mundo. So whatever you call it na global warming due to natural event, mas madaling partner, mas madaling makaka-adapt ang mundo. Pero ngayon na isasabayan mo yung tinatawag nilang global warming due to the sun, which is sabi nila a natural phenomenon. However, we cannot afford at this stage na ang laki ng ating populasyon, ang daming mamatay talaga na tao. Hindi biro yan, billion ang mamatay. Hundreds of tens of millions or hundreds of millions mamatay pag nagkaroon ng famine. No? So, hindi maaaring baliwalain to. Hindi pwedeng, porque it's a natural event, ang exacerbation na effect niyan, given the situation that we are in now, untimely yan, it's really very dangerous and difficult. So, kaya nga dapat yung tinatawag nating climate change program, kung paano natin i-restore yung ating klima, yung ating environment, ay dapat puspusan natin ginagawa. It is not an excuse, partner, na itong mga climate change pundit, na ang tanong dyan kasi, partner, it's not that global warming is not coming. No? Either it is anthropogenic or it is a natural cycle of the sun. There is global warming. So, yun ang intindihin natin na with this global warming phenomenon coming in, regardless of the real cause or even a combination of the cause. Matindi ho yan, partner. Matindi ang impact ngayon yan. Tag-init pa ng araw, kung kanyan, at yung couple, yung pollution natin, no? Yung greenhouse gases natin, yung deforestation natin, yung pollution natin sa karagatan, sa ilog, sa lahat. So, yung devastation ng ating mga tawag nito, ng ating mga kakahuyan dahil sa kaubos natin yan sa laging, no? Ay magiging dramatic ang epekto nito sa ating kabuhayan. At partner, ang panawagan ko talaga dito, alam mo, hindi maring sabihin natin na nakakasawa yung ating panawagan sa ating gobyerno. Kailangan talaga, partner, eh.
Oo nga, talaga naman, partner, eh.
Hindi maring hindi
partner,
tayo manawagan.
Nandiyan na partner, nandiyan na si Doc Alan pala sa backstage, ano?
Sige.
Sige, we-welcome natin si Dr. Alan Landrito at yung natin, nami-miss na natin yan, yung very humble doktor at napagkahusay na doktor at kahit sa marami niyang kaalaman sa ngayon, tuloy at tuloy pa rin yung pagre-research niya at ngayon makakasama na natin, alam namin maraming nagre-request. Doc Alan, welcome po, Doc Alan. Sir F? Hindi siya maipasok.
Oo, nandito na si Doc, eh. Naghihintay na siya, eh.
Ade, ayun. Okay.
Ayan. Ayan. Sabay-sabay.
Alan, kumusta po? Nami-miss ka na po namin.
Good afternoon. Ako rin, na-miss ko na rin makasama kayo. So, I'm glad na nandito ako ngayon sa KALIKASAN at Kalusugan. Nadidinig ko kanina yung pinag-uusapan ninyo, yung tungkol sa global warming. I just want to add another thing, sana, kung okay. One of the factors kaya nag-warm yung globe natin is yung mga industries, especially yung production ng urea. Urea is yung ginagamit nilang fertilizer. Almost all nations are using that. Pero to produce that urea, you need a lot of heat. Kaya nag-heat. Nagdadagdag sa burden ng heat sa planet natin. Ano? Kaya, and aside from that, pagdating sa agriculture, I don't think tama yung mag-apply ng urea eh. I'm not an agriculturist, pero I know natural farming, we don't need to apply urea and other synthetic fertilizers to make food in agriculture. We have other options to do, and I know Hil Alier here is the better person to discuss about that.
Opo, kasi parating may drawback yan, Doc, eh. Parating may drawback at the same time na nag-i-increase ng production, it also causes so much environmental destruction. Parating ganyan ho kasi ang chemical industry, Doc, eh. Di ba? Parating ang motto nila diyan, Doc, ng chemical industries is the benefit outweighs the risk. Pero sa kung tutusin lang, susumahin mo in the end is that the risk outweighs the benefit kung tutusin. So it's not true. Yung mantra na yan ng mga chemical companies should be repudiated and be must be confronted eh, kasi short-term profit interest lang nila, hindi naman yung kalikasan eh. Yung survivability ng mundo. So, yun lang talagang naghihirap ang mga tao dahil sila ang nagdidikta.
I've been reading about toxicology. You remember about DDT, no? There was this mosquitocidal pesticide that they used before, yung DDT. When they started using it, naggulat sila, nakita nila yung mga polar regions, yung mga snow caps doon, North Pole, South Pole, may DDT, pero hindi naman sila nag-spray doon, no? So, ibig sabihin, the world is interconnected. The world is one big ecosystem na if you do something in one place, it will affect other places. So, kung nandun siya sa mga snow ng mga polar regions, eventually, pagka nag-meltdown niya, sa mga oceans, di ba? So, dito sa mga countries na naggagamit niya, kasama yan sa nag-evaporate yan, form of water vapor, sumasama siya. And then nagiging rain siya, papunta ngayon sa mahuhulog yung iba sa bola nito sa everywhere. Diba? Kaya kahit, sabi lang, kahit after, yung study nila, parang after 30 years na ginagawa ng PDT, tinigil na, meron pa rin nakikita eh.
Ganun po, half-life niyan, mga 50 years.
Partner, ipakilala mo muna partner yung nakasama natin si Ma'am Vanessa. Doc, naalala mo ba yan si Ma'am Vanessa? Siya yung na kay Sir Jill nung nagpunta tayo doon sa kanila.
Okay.
Yung kasi siya po yung naging guest namin.
Neighbor yata ni Jill. Okay.
Opo. Doc, nandito po si Vanessa. Ang topic po niya tungkol sa Breastfeeding Week nitong August, World Breastfeeding Week. Ang topic po niya ngayon ay yung tungkol sa breastfeeding. Ready ka na ba, Vanessa? Yung one slide, pwede na ba natin pakinggan si Vanessa para sa kanyang presentation?
May technical difficulty po sa slide, kaya magkwentuhan na lang po tayo.
Okay, sige. Okay.
Kasama natin si Doc Alan.
Sige, go ahead.
Kasi alam naman natin na ang breastfeeding talaga, foundational po siya para sa health na isang tao. Kasi ang breastfeeding, yun naman po talaga ang first food ng humans. So hindi siya, di ba lagi natin sinasabi, breast milk is the best, gold standard. So, kailangan natin i-correct yung perception ng breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is the normal way to feed our babies. So normal siya, it should not be an issue. Hindi siya dapat pinagdedebatehan. Dapat normal siya at kailangan suportahan. At ito nga po, yung sa breastfeeding, pag tinanong kayo sa textbook, di ba, ano yung laging sinasabi sa mga science textbooks natin about breast milk? Ano yung laging nakadefine? Yung pinalakihan nating textbook. Diba sinasabi, breast milk is the secretion of mammals to feed their young. So parang nangyayari lang ay parang juice lang siya, secretion, when in fact, breast milk is life-giving for humans. Ato nga, breastfeeding is life-giving. It is a living tissue. Breast milk is a living tissue which has been referred to as white blood. Di ba lagi natin pinapahalaga ng dugo? Ang breast milk naman, nagtawag nila dito white blood. Kasi it is all white blood because it almost has the same components of blood, but it is dynamic. It is always changing. At nakadepende po yung content ng breast milk ayon sa pangangailangan ng bata na pinapasuso nyo at that specific moment. So alam nyo ba na kapag di ba ang nanay, pag dalawa ang anak, alam nyo ba na pwedeng pagpasusuhin ang isang nakatatandang baby sa isang newborn? Alam nyo
Hindi
ba?
namin alam yun.
Pwede yun.
Si Doc makakasagot niyan. Yan. Si Doc
Yun ang tawag na tandem breastfeeding. Kaya nga, di ba, ang mga tao, dalawa ang breasts. Most of the mga mammals to breast kasi it's really designed for twins or multiples. But most of norm kasi is single baby. Pero dahil po dun pa, that's how we're. So, ang isang example, sa mga tandem breastfeeding, normally, ito yung ginagawa. May toddler ka, tapos may newborn. Alam niyo ba na ang composition ng breast milk na pinapasuso sa newborn ay nagbabago kapag yung side ng breast naman ng dun sa older baby na pinapainom, nag-iiba siya. Nag-iiba yung kulay. One scientist was able to do this. She extracted one side of her breast, she expressed milk, and then studied it in the microscope. She also studied the other breast milk. Yung breast niya, magkaiba po yung composition according to the age and the time and date na pinapasuso yung baby. So, napaka-dynamic po talaga siya. So, hindi siya static. It's really not like siya sa formula. Sabi na superior ang formula kasi may scientific research. It does not replicate breast milk kasi dynamic. Ang key ng breastfeeding talaga kasi ang key po dyan ay ang baby. Ang saliva ng baby ang suction action ng baby at yung kanyang pagda-drain ng milk from the breasts. The breast receptors in the mother and her breast, para siyang mini computer. Kapag nadampian na sa iba na baby, kino-compute na ng katawan, nagre-register, nagsisignal na sa katawan ng nanay, ano yung components na kailangan yung i-produce for the breast milk of that specific baby at that specific time. Kaya kung expose ang pamilya sa pathogen, di ba uso po ngayon ang flu? May community spread, daw sa family, patang sa member, may flu, di ba nagkakahawaan na. At that point, exposed na si nanay at si baby sa pathogen. So once na si baby ay nagsuckle sa breast, yung antibody na produce ng mom ay napapass on niya sa breast milk. So pati yung baby niya, nakukuha na ng antibodies. At kung ano man ang exposure nila, mas na yun ang naiinom na baby. Pero important, ang key dito ay direct latch. Hindi lang express milk o yung pinomp na milk. Kailangan direct latch siya at frequent and long feeds or direct latch. Kasi tuloy ko lang po, no? Breastfeeding is life-giving. It is also life-saving. Ang breast milk composition dynamic siya. Ito nga sinabi ni Ged ng mga researchers sa International Milk Genomics Consortium. Milk composition is not constant but changes in the short term in response to milk removal by infant. The highest levels of lipids and cells in breast milk occur 30 minutes after a good feed, and changes in gene expression stimulated by milk removal may facilitate secretion of lipids and active migration of cells into breast milk. So, ang component ng breast milk may live cells po siya. Even stem cells and yung mga components nito, at it responds to the needs of the baby. Kaya yung, di ba yung plasticity, yung growth ng baby, that's why breastfeeding is key because this plasticity of breast milk composition is the key to early infant growth and programming and development. Ayan. Tapos hindi lang yan, ang breast milk, hindi lang siya for nourishment, it's really life-saving. Alam niyo ba na especially in low resource countries, breastfeeding is one of the single most effective intervention in saving children's lives compared to sanitation or cleaning services or administering of medicine. Breastfeeding po siya. Umabot ng 13% yung proportion niya in the life-saving interventions. Ito sa study ng Lancet Child Survival. So breastfeeding and complementary feeding, that means supporting breastfeeding of the child with healthy food from 6 months and onwards, yun po nakakatulong sa pagliligtas ng bata. But the key to breastfeeding as life-saving, conversely, kapag hindi ka agad na-initiate ang breastfeeding, lalo na sa newborn, the longer you delay breastfeeding, mas tumataas ang risk for neonatal mortality. At ang ibang nakagawian yan sa mga tatay, ang tanungin ko po, kapag bagong panganak, ano usually ginagawa sa sanggol at sa nanay pag bagong panganak dun sa delivery room? Can you share ano yung mga experience nyo? Ano yung mga nangyayari? Sige. Kapag nilabas
Sige, Doc. Sagutin ni Doc Alan yan.
Tingnan natin ang different practices.
Yeah. Actually, protocol na ngayon sa mga hospitals, room in the earlier the better. Right after, room in na yung baby. So, actually, paglabas pa lang niya ng baby, ilalagay ka na muna sa breast, dito sa bosom ng mother. And then after that, ayusin na nila, paliliguan na siya, ready na siya, na siya, babalutin na siya. Then ibibigay ulit sa mother. So yun ang protocol na yan. And actually, that's a very ideal and very good procedure. practice.
Thank you, Doc Alan, for mentioning na dapat nilalagay kaagad sa chest ang baby. Yan ang tinatawag na unang yakap protocol o early intrapartum newborn care protocol. Bale, akala ko sasagot ng mga tatay eh. Pagka pinanganak si baby, kukunin, ilalagay kay mami, tapos picture, tapos kukunin na rin.
Ay, sa probinsya namin, walang picture-picture eh. Pagkapanganak eh, kasi nga sa lugar namin, lalo na kami sa isla, no? Pagkatapos, di hilot lang yung pag-anak eh. Pagkatapos talaga noon, pagkatapos na hawakan yung paa at malinisan, itatabi ka agad sa nanay yun. Hindi hinihiwala yun.
Opo.
Kasi yung tatay noon, laging nasa labas noon, nagluluto ng makakain. Pinapakain ka agad ng nanay.
Yan ang tinatawag na support. Actually, maganda nga po yung mga practices na yun. Kasi yung tinatawag natin ngayon na yung 4 core steps and early initiation of breastfeeding, may sinusundan po tayo talaga na 4 core steps. Ang dapat, buti na describe nyo, Sir Fred, na yung sa provincial traditional mode na nilalagay ka agad sa ang baby sa nanay, hindi agad hinihiwalay. Kasi alam for emphasizing that practice of rooming in should be immediately practiced. But hindi lang po yun yung steps. Actually, ito ang dapat na steps. Kailangan natin may 4 core steps dapat sinusundan para ma-ensure na ma-initiate ang breastfeeding. Unang-una, pagkalabas ng baby, of course, and this is through whether natural vaginal birth or cesarean birth, ang unang-una paglabas ng si baby, ang unang step ay immediate and thorough drying. Yun ang unang-unang step. Immediate and thorough drying, pwede pong gawin sa chest o sa tummy ng mommy. Kung siya ay nasa cesarean section, pwede pong dito habang siya ay kini-clean o tinatahe. Tapos after that, ay early skin-to-skin contact, meaning dito po kaagad ilalapag po siya sa chest o sa belly area. After that is properly timed cord clamping. Hindi po ito yung katulad na papanood natin sa movie, di ba? Pag pagkapanganak ay putol ka agad ng cord. Hindi po. Actually, yung nangyayari, bakit na habang attached ang cord sa baby, nagtatransfer yung ng blood and oxygen from the placenta to the baby. So, it's very important na hindi ka ang cord. When is the best time to cut the cord? When pag tumigil po ang pagpupulso ng cord. In doing so, you prevent anemia sa baby. So, the newborn can absorb as much nutrients and oxygen and the blood coming from the mother. Yun po yung properly timed cord clamping. And then right after that is non-separation of newborn from mother for early breastfeeding initiation. Meaning, hindi ka si baby, hihiwalay, tapos foot stamping, paliligurin. Actually, dinidiscourage po yung paliguan ka agad ng baby. Bakit kanyo? Bakit iiwasan natin? Because sa pag-initiate ng breastfeeding, kailangan kasi ni baby maamoy, pag maamoy niya yung tawag dito, hindi dapat hinihiwalay agad ang baby kasi kailangan niyang makapag-breastfeed ka agad kay nanay. Paano ito? Sa tinatawag natin ng yakap o yung even breast crawl. Si baby design siya na kapag lalabas siya, hahanapin niya ang suso ni nanay. Kaya ang areola ng mga mothers umiitim kasi ang visual perception ng newborns ay black and white. So the darkest spot, yun ang hahanapin. Kumbaga, yun ang bullseye. Yun ang susunod. Tapos yung amoy ng baby, ng milk, ng placenta, ng fluid, maamoy din niya doon sa nanay niya at mahahalap niya ang breast. Kapag pinalikuan agad, mawawala yung ganung scent. And also the protective coating, the brain fog, may protective coating si baby, hindi dapat siya wina-wash off. Kasi be protective property yung layer na yon. Kasi this is a barrier, the skin's barrier from infection, from any pathogens in the environment. Pero ang key talaga to protect or to really boost the immunity of the baby is kailangan niyang mainom ang colostrum ng nanay pagkapanganak. Kaya hindi dapat ihiwalay agad. And what is colostrum? Colostrum is this gold fluid that is produced by the nanay. Patak lang po siya. Hindi po siya sumisirit. Kaya yung inisip ng mga tao na pag newborn ay sumisirit ang bibig, tapos nalulunod sa breast milk ang baby. Actually, hindi pa. Ang colostrum pa lang, patak-patak lang siya. Actually, kailangan lang ng baby is 1 ml in a day. Because ang capacity ng tiyan ng baby, ng newborn, ang size ng tiyan ng newborn sa day 1 ay ganito lang po. Parang kalamansi. So, yung size niyan, yung fluid niya, yun lang yung digest ng katawan at a time. So, tama lang po yung pinoproduce ng colostrum, yung patak-patak na yun. So, it's just 1 to 1/4 teaspoon a day. Okay lang yun. Kasi colostrum, ang primary purpose ng colostrum is protective. So, it's for the immunity of baby. Secondary na lang ang nutritive. Tapos, ang unang pala ng colostrum, ang actual niya, is it feeds the microbiome that is seeded in the gut of the baby. And this microbiome is seeded from the vaginal fluid coming from the mother. So yung virgin gut ng baby, ang nagsiseed nun ay yung microbiome coming from the vaginal fluid, which is crucial, and the colostrum that feeds the microbiome in this fluid. So yun ang nagko-compose dun sa virgin gut na baby. Kailangan po talagang mainom ang colostrum. So hindi po tama yung ginagawa yung sa hospital, yung dating practice na dinadala sa nursery, binibigyan ka agad ng glucose water or na formula kasi wala daw milk. Kasi kailangan daw mag-rest ni mommy. Mali po yun. As much as possible, rooming in si baby. Kailangan na kay mommy. Kasi kailangan niya mainom niya ang colostrum. At kapag the breast milk is only released kapag may signal from the baby, yung tawal ni baby at yung suckling motion, that signals the body to produce the milk for the baby. Kasi hindi lang po yan yung nutritive. The whole gamut of what is happening during birth, yung act of the baby, yung sa unang yakap, di ba meron po tayong tinatawag na, Doc, kung na yung breast crawl, that yung sa newborn, they have this instinct to crawl in the belly to find breast. Actually, yung breast crawl, yung purpose pala niya, yung kicking motion ng baby, if you leave them alone, they can crawl on their own. That's how intelligent the body of a newborn is. That's how intelligent our babies are. Yung motion din pala na yun, yung kicking the gut, it helps also push the uterus, it helps contract, and it signals the mother also to produce yung hormones, yung oxytocin. So oxytocin is the hormone that triggers the let down of breast milk. And also, it triggers the contraction of the uterus. So it's not just life-saving for the baby, it's life-saving for the mother. Kasi kapag nakapag-contract ka agad ng uterus, may mitigate po ang hemorrhage or bleeding sa nanay. Kaya it goes both ways. It benefits the baby and the mother. At kapag nakapag-breastfeed ka agad si nanay, yung oxytocin na yun, then it helps her relax. It's the love hormone, kumbaga. It gives the mother it triggers her maternal instinct as well. Kasi ang babies, ang itsura naman ng baby, hindi naman talaga perfect. Pero ang mommy, they always think their baby is so beautiful and perfect because of the hormones. Pero gano'n naman po talaga. Pero sabi ng mga ibang tatay, mukhang iti naman. But we need the hormone. It's that instinct to protect the baby. Tapos in nature, di ba, if you observe in the wild, ang mga pregnant mammals, they find a dark corner and they can really give birth on their own. At pag nanganak, automatic, their young looks for the breast to feed. Sa lions, sa bears, or even na-observe dun sa mga yun sa mga gorillas or yung sa mga chimpanzees, nakikita yung same things. Tapos hindi sila nagda-doubt, may enough milk po ba ako? Walang ganong doubt, di ba? They know, and the babies, their young automatically knows how to get their own food source, which is breast milk, which is the milk of their mother. So sa human milk, ang napakaganda naman po sa human milk. Kaya ito pong napaka-unique po ng composition talaga ng human milk. It is so different from other mammals. And the way iba ang gestation period is 9 months. And then, yung sa breastfeeding period, question ko po, sa tingin nyo, hanggang anong age pwede mag-breastfeed ang nanay at saka kanyang anak? Question.
I'll make a guess na hanggang 8 years old. Is it? Kasi I'm basing that from the Bible. Sa Bible, hanggang 8 years old, nag-ano pa sila. Breastfeeding sila during the olden times. I don't know kung anong standard ngayon.
Okay. Si Tito Hill, make a guess. Up to what age po pwede mag-breastfeed ang nanay at ang kanyang anak?
Actually, sanay kami ng mga anak ko ng breastfeeding. It's been maximum 3 years sa nangyayari sa mga anak ko, 2 years, ganoon. So, yun ang hindi ko alam ang maximum talaga, pero we have experience sa mga anak ko. 8 yung anak ko eh. Lahat yan, breastfeed yan ang mother nila, no? So, pinakamatagal is 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's good to hear those answers. Ang biological norm for age for the biological norm for feeding human children is 7 years.
7?
Up to 7 years old.
Ayun.
Pero in other countries, they can go beyond. Sa Mongolia, 8 years, 10 years, iba 12 years old nakapag-breastfeed. They celebrate breastfeeding then. May marami silang mga sayings about breastfeeding. It makes great warriors. Sa atin naman, kasi cultural din po siya kumbaga yung limit. Sa Asian countries, the average is 3 to 4 years po. In others, they can go for longer. Sa Western countries, yun naman opposite. Nagiging kung sino mas progressive or mas industrialized nation, sila yung mas maikli ang breastfeeding, some up to parang celebration na kung umabot sila ng 1 year. May dahilan po dyan. I think we all know why. Ako po personally, I have breastfed my son up to 7 years old.
Oh, 7 years old.
So, ang mga kasamahan ko, 5 years, 6 years. So, bumabalik na po yung norm. So, gano'n po talaga siya. So, tama po. Very close to answer you, Doc Alan.
Yeah. Vanessa, I have a few questions. No? Kasi yes, I missed that part when you say when is the proper time of clamping the umbilical cord. Can you repeat that?
The proper cord clamping. The best way to do it is to wait for the pulsation to stop. Habang napupulso pa ang umbilical cord, that means it's still transmitting the blood and oxygen from the placenta. So pwede pong hintayin tumigil ang pag-pulse niya hanggang sa pumuti. Some say a minute, but it's best to wait for the cord to stop pulsing before we clamp it.
Yeah, I asked this question kasi yung umbilical cord connected pa sa placenta, and the placenta medyo may delay pa siya, hindi kaagad lalabas siya, di ba? About 5 minutes pa. Sometimes nagtatagal pa eh. So, pero extended naman siya habang ibig mo bang sabihin, kasi this is sabihin, paglabas ng baby, lagay na kaagad sa bosom ng mother, pero hindi pa ikaklamp yung yung placenta.
Hindi po kaagad. May timing po siya. Some practices, they do it with mga wait for a minute or 5 minutes. Basta wag pong kaagad-agad habang pupupulso. Tapos
kasi kaya ako tinatanong yan sa medicine, we are all aware yung that first minute after birth is very significant. That's the time na nagsasara yung may mga sa heart ng baby, may mga airs diyan na magsasara pa eh.
Mm-mm.
May mga open diyan ng mga ducts, meron diyang septum na open, magsasara yung mga yan. That's miraculously taking place in just a minute eh. No? That's why ang sa medicine paglabas, kinaklam ka agad para mag-proceed ka agad yun. So I think what you said is something new and it's new for me. I believe that. So aantayin pala yung pulsation bago siya ika-clamp.
Mm-hmm. Because the
Okay.
baby still needs the oxygen coming from the mother. And also some practice some wait till the placenta has been birthed. Yun yung tinatawag nilang semi-lotus. Some wait for yung iba naman hinihayaan na lang nila na mag-dry ang umbilical cord to let it naturally detach from the newborn. That's called full lotus birth. That means
Kasi I believe what you're saying kasi biologically yung mga ibang mammals, they give birth wala naman nagka-clamp ng umbilical cord. Kasi sa medicine kasi the goal of the obstetrician or the pediatrician kasi ganito eh. This is what's taking place sa delivery room eh. Paglabas ng infant, clamp nila agad. Dalawang clamp para sa gitna magugupit nila, di ba? Then ipapasa sa pedia. Yung pedia, ang goal niya, paiyakin ka agad yung bata para mag-expand ka agad ng lungs. Pag na-expand ng lungs, that's where I was telling na doon magsasara yung mga septum, yung mga ducts doon sa heart at from placental circulation magiging mag-independent na yung circulation ng baby, no? So, pero when you're saying antayin natin matapos yung pulse, what do you do with the baby? Kasi ang goal ng medicine, pahihingahin mo agad yung bata, paiyakin mo agad para mag-expand.
okay.
Before makikita natin, classically, pinapakita pa nga pinapalo i-invert nila yung bata, papaluin sa puwet, di ba? Pero ngayon, hindi naman sinasabing gano'n, nirarab lang yung soul niya para stimulate at magising yung bata or what.
Okay.
So, can you enlighten us ano yung something?
Okay. Ang current evidence-based practice po ay hindi na po pinapalo ang baby at o iyakin ang bata. Kailangan lang po makita ang eyes, ang breathing, at ang pulso ng baby if it's normal. Once lumabas si baby, while ang ginagawa po ng attending health worker or health practitioner, kailangan kaagad stimulate ang baby. Yung pagpapatuyo ng baby, yung first step, yung drying and immediate thorough drying of the newborn, yun na po yung nagsistimulate sa baby para yung sa kanya, the heart, the breathing, and that helps. Hindi na po practice yung pinapalo ang baby o hintayin pang umiyak. Kasi marami po lumabas sa baby ngayon, calm baby. Especially those who have been practice the evidence-based approach, lalo na kung natural delivery na low intervention, meaning hindi po ginamitan ng anesthesia or epidural, and the baby is allowed to, yung maternal ejection reflex has been allowed to happen naturally. So normally lumalabas sa baby are calm babies, but if the goal of the attending health practitioner is to check the breathing, check the heart rate if it's normal, but this can be done while the baby is in the mother's chest or in the bed habang ginagawa yan. At kapag na-check normal, proceed lang po sa pag-initiate na early initiation ng breastfeeding. Ayun po.
Okay, yeah. I would like to add something, Vanessa. No? Kasi pagka lumabas yung baby through cesarean section,
Yan.
sa birth canal. And ang nasasagap niya na microflora, yung flora sa air ng hospital, which is really a very, very bad collection of super bugs, super germs, no? So, na-miss niya yung dadaan sa vaginal canal or sa birth canal para ma-acquire niya yung tamang microflora niya. Kasi yung pepper, una lalabas yung head, jelly, di ba? Pagka na-press yung nose niya, that's the time he acquires the microflora from the vaginal canal, no, which are usually the lactobacillus strains, no, na very healthy. So I've been telling the obstetricians, I don't know if they are familiar about it, and I believe nagkaroon ng ganyang program pero I don't know kung widely disseminate nila yung information na if a infant was born via cesarean section, right away after extracting the infant, mag kukuha sila ng something that will they will swab the vaginal vault, and then ipapahin nila sa mukha ng baby para
Yes.
ma-acquire ng baby yung microflora na dapat makuha niya. Kasi pathogenic flora makukuha niya, sakitin yung bata for
Tama
throughout
po.
his lifetime.
Hindi po siya widely practiced ngayon. Yung tinatawag na vaginal seeding, yung deliberate act of getting some samples from the vaginal fluid and doon sa facial opening ng baby. Hindi pa siya widely practiced, but it is one good practice that is being done by some health physicians, some facility workers for the
So
baby.
you mentioned that there's there is a certain term for that procedure.
Vaginal seeding po ang isa
Seeding. Oh, yes, good. Okay.
seeding. May
Seeding.
isa pa pong term, but I will try to look up the study. May gumawa po ng study pero hindi ko po ma-recall kung ano but someone did this observational study. Hindi pa siya peer-reviewed, but someone did that and yung advantages. But aside
I was stressing this point kasi, these kinds of program, yung mga key points, yung mga most important things that everyone should know, maganda na stress. Kaya I've been asking all this para may emphasize natin. I hope you don't mind na medyo nagbabat in ako
tama
sa
lang
discussion.
po. Okay,
Yes,
tama
yes.
lang po. Thank you for asking those questions kasi hindi siya na-emphasize in sa mga ganitong talk like sa breastfeeding. Ang nangyayari po ngayon, yung talks about breastfeeding, hinihiwalay nila sa childbirth of birthing when in fact it should be a continuum of care. Na yung breastfeeding hindi lang siya yung nagsisimula pag lumabas na si baby. Actually, it should be even before yung steps back. While the mother is still conceiving, dapat meron na pong support na binibigay sa mother. But ang pinaka-crucial is during the labor, delivery, and the immediate care, post-delivery o postpartum care. Kaya yung EINC, early intrapartum newborn care protocol, importanteng masundan siya kasi the manner how a mother gives birth really matters sa success ng breastfeeding journey niya. So, kailangan talaga sa parents ngayon, they should really read up and research the different kinds of interventions being done for childbirth kasi there are pros and cons with every intervention. But the best talaga pa rin is to really encourage as much as possible natural childbirth, to really respect the body's physiological process of giving birth, meaning we respect the mother's body, we respect the intelligence of the body of a birthing woman because instinct din po siya. Ang nangyayari kasi nauunahan tayo ng fear. So, pag fear-driven, minsan hindi na evidence-based ang practice. Parang hospital or facility protocol na lang instead of really being a mother-centered or yung mother-baby dyad-centered care. So, kailangan talagang ma-practice. But even then, kasi iba-iba po ang story ng nanay, iba-iba po ang mga katawan, at iba-iba ang circumstances. So, we understand that these medical interventions are at times necessary. For example, epidurals or anesthesia or even cesarean sections. But what is important is the informed consent. Dapat ang mga parents or the birthing mother should really be informed and i-communicate sa kanya ang pros and cons and every medical intervention that is being done. Hindi pwedeng, sige, ganito na lang, CS na lang kaagad tayo. Kailangan i-explain bakit. Or as much as possible, really go for the natural birth. Pag hindi, and then the next step. But regardless of the manner of birth, kailangan pa rin masunod yung 4 core steps dun sa unang YACA protocol to ensure na ang newborn will get the life-saving benefits of breastfeeding. Ayun po siya.
Vanessa, I would like to ask you another thing. No? Regarding the tandem feeding, for example, you have a 4-year-old here sucking the left breast, and you have a newborn on the right breast. If you interpose them, halimbawa, if the mother happens to interpose them, mas convenient siguro sa kanya kasi mabigat na yung baby, yung 4-year-old naman, di niya bubuhatin. Lilipat niya sa kabila, palilipatin naman niya yung 4-year-old doon sa kanan. Gusto pa rin uminom ng gatas ng kanan, hindi pa tapos yung baby, yung infant. Lilipat niya. Yung sinasabi mong instant, yung sinasabi mong parang yung biochemistry ng milk, yung adjustment ng milk niya. It can happen instantaneously.
Hindi naman po in 10 seconds. Hindi naman po siya.
But in a
good
minute?
period of suckling motion. Kunwari sinabi ng isa, 13 minutes of good feeding, doon nag-ano yung best, yung components ng lipids, the right amount of fat for the baby. Basta kailangan yung length din po ng breastfeeding ng baby. So din made-determine. Kasi the key is in the draining the breast.
Sucking.
And draining
sucking
the breast.
Method.
Ang key po, draining. Kailangan ma-drain ang breast because one of the primary issues in breastfeeding or breastfeeding troubles or challenges nangyari kapag mali ang position at mali ang paraan ng pag-suck ng baby. 80% of breastfeeding challenges happen because of wrong position and wrong way of hindi tama ang pagpapasuso. Kasi nasanay tayo na ganito lang. Actually, there are different ways to breastfeed. Ang position sa breastfeeding. May cross cradle, may football hold, meron din po yung side lying. Sa newborns po, lalo mga bagong panganak na nanay, napaka-importante ng side lying position. Para pwedeng, kahit nakapahinga yung mami, natutulog, pwede mag-breastfeed din. Meron din yung sa tandem breastfeeding, twins, yung football hold, yung isang baby dito, yung isa dito, pwedeng sabay. Basta supported, kailangan may bigyan ng support yung nanay. Maraming pillows o maraming towel, support yung nanay. At ilang pakainin si so, ang key po talaga is the correct position and latch of the baby.
Vanessa, I sense that where you were coming from, I think it's a conference or something. So advanced yung naging updates nila. I have another question. What if here we are given a surrogate mother feeding 2 different infants from different mothers? So, yeah, what happens? Is there something that differs dun sa magiging biochemistry ng milk depending on the age lang pa ng bata? Or yung factor na since they are coming from different mothers, is it also a factor for that? Kasi the way I have perceived yung pinesent mo, the breast has become very fascinating, very amazing, no? Na meron palang we never realized na ganun siyang sensitive, na nag-a-adjust siya, ganun intricate siya, complicated siya na to give the best for the infant. What if these are coming from different mothers, tapos dalawa sabay pa surrogate? We have surrogate mothers who already have plenty of milk, no? And it happens in the province, no? So they're coming from different will there be changes on the milk composition?
Theoretically, yes po. Pero it has been happening kasi ang key talaga is the direct latch. Remember, it's the receptors in the mother and the woman's breast.
In the areola, no?
In the areola. And the drain. At dun sa baby, for example, it's sa pinsan, di ba maraming nangyayari, cross nurse or wet nurse. And pagka yung period of time nag-prolong, even that mother who is wet nursing that child, mag-a-adjust din po according to the need of that baby. Maghanap po ako ng literature to see if they were able to find that, kung na-determine na yung composition that really adapts. But theoretically, opo, nag-a-adjust po siya. Kaya napaka-importante talaga ng direct latch. That from a healthy breastfeeding mother. Ayan, yun po ang key. Kailangan healthy din po. Ang i-share ko lang po nung sa Yolanda, sa Tacloban, di ba marami pong mga pumanaw nating kababayan. Ang nangyari po, isang nanay bayanihan campaign, ang ginawa nila, nagpadala sila ng mga breastfeeding counselors and lactating mothers to help wet nurse the babies na nawalan ng kanilang mga nanay. What they also did was they relactation programs for the grandmothers of these babies na nawalan na ng mga nanay. So they were able to relactate mga lola in their 60s or in their 50s. So these grandmothers, mga lola, they were able to directly breastfeed yung mga apo nila. Kasi wala silang choice yung mga nanay. At mahirap po maghanap ng supplement na artificial milk. Delikado po, artificial milk na in emergency setting. Walang malinis na tubig, walang sanitary facilities. So, to save the life of the baby, that was a life-saving intervention when they help relactate those grandmothers. Because even yung mga non-biological mothers of the baby, of those children, they were also able to relactate. Basta ang isang babae, kapag breastfeed na siya in the past, pwede pa rin siya mag-relactate.
That's amazing. That's amazing experience.
Sorry, lalo na sa ganitong panahon, ang daming sakuna na dumarating. Andiyan ang gera, andiyan ang lindol, andiyan ang bagyo. Diba, the last thing you should be doing is to look for supplement or artificial milk for these babies when meron ka na pwedeng pagkuha ng direct ng source ng food nila, which is breast milk. So in these instances, yung wet nursing or cross nursing is very important. It's life-saving. So yun yung mga knowledge na traditionally, nakagawian naman po natin, di ba? Across different cultures around the world, it has been a norm and tradition. It is only during these modern times, industrialized era, nakalimutan na because ang breastfeeding ay ang mga nanay napilitan magtrabaho, iba ng nanay ang anak sa iba, so they need to supplement or to feed with artificial food for the baby. So, yun ang kagawian. Kaya madami tayong knowledge and traditions na nakalimutan, na kailangan ibalik. So, meron nga ngayon mga team from Pilipinas, mga breastfeeding peer counselors and lactation experts. They're the ones who are now conducting trainings in Europe, Poland, even through internet. They are teaching other mothers or lactation experts in these other countries, lalo na yung mga war-torn countries, to help their women relactate. Or even yung mga nanay na nag-mix meat to bring them back to the breast. Kasi no choice eh. Kailangan nilang mag-breastfeed. Our own Filipino lactation experts are helping these other mothers in other continents. And they're doing the same. Sa Africa, yung mga traditional midwives nila, they're also teaching mga medical professionals yan on these long forgotten traditions na ngayon dinabalik. So, kailangan talagang ibalik natin kasi even those wisdom, the indigenous wisdom, especially sa birth and breastfeeding, napaka-importante po yan, lalo sa panahon na ito. We should really practice best practice in low resource settings for emergencies and crises. Kailangan na nating ma-employ yung mga ganong practices. Pero the key talaga is the message that breastfeeding, hindi lang breast milk, breastfeeding. That means there is a mother, the mother and the child are together and they are being supported to breastfeed. Meron din po kasi tayo hindi ako anti-formula. there is a place for formula, pero may hierarchy po tayo sa feeding ng mga infants and young children. At the top of the rank is direct latch or direct breastfeeding from the mother. Next is expressed milk from the mother. For example, in instances na she is sick or kailangan niya mahiwalay sa baby or incapable of holding the baby properly. So, pwede po ang express breast milk from the mother. The next is donor breast milk from a wet nurse, or pwede mo on cross nurse, or donor breast milk coming from a human milk bank. So usually, mga premature babies, sila yung usually ang hinahanapan ng donor breast milk kasi sila yung mga instances na hindi talagang magawa ng mother to directly feed their baby either because of circumstance. Dito po talaga naging malaki ang role ng donor human milk. That is mga human milk. And these are donated by healthy mothers, lactating mothers. At siniscreen din po sila. Tapos, ang pinaka-last rank is the artificial milk.
Formula.
Pero pinaka-last po yun, last resort na po yun. And there are circumstances na mga kailangan. Pero kailangan ibalik natin talaga dun sa top of the list, which is breastfeeding directly from the mother.
Yeah. Vanessa, from the information you gave, maybe we can insert ang second, dapat breastfeeding from the lola.
Returning na lola.
Meron po kami kina-counsel ngayon kasi maraming cases ngayon ng mothers na kailangan mga ibang bansa or kailangan na magtrabaho sa ibang lugar at yung lola lang talaga ang naiiwan para mag-alaga ng baby. Napaka resource draining kasi kung mayat maya magko-call sila ng breast milk donation. So we sometimes counsel the family if they choose to for the lola to undergo relactation to really feed to breastfeed her up directly.
So can you give us an idea what's the technique to initiate relactation from, say, a 60-year-old lola? Kasi you said it's possible even a 60-year-old, no? Basta may history ng breastfeeding. Just let the infant suck the breast and then eventually she will be producing. Ganun.
Hindi naman kaagad-agaran. Depende pa rin po sa mother. Some take days, some within the same day. Kailangan po unang-una, decidido dapat yung lola or the non-biological surrogate kumbaga. Kailangan decidido siya kasi will talaga eh. If you're not really decided, your mind can do something. Diba? What the mind can conceive, the body can achieve. 80s commercial yan, diba? Yan po. Meron din pong tinatawag na lactation massage. So there are certain points in the body.
Yeah.
Our traditional midwives know these steps. Sa Africa, sa Latin America, alam nila yung mga massage nito. It varies from country and culture, but they almost have the same. So even our lactation consultants, they do this. They do lactation massage sa mother. So there's certain points. Ito hindi kailangan ng gamot, hindi kailangan ng medical aid. Kailangan lang talaga it's the mother. Kailangan siya decided and she has to be calm. At pwede through the lactation massage. And then yung constant exposure ng baby, kailangan nakasakot talaga sa breast. Tapos prolong. Pwede rin naman po i-supplement with donor milk, drip-drop method, para lang ma-encourage yung baby mag-suck, para ma-stimulate yung breast ng surrogate mother. Actually, there are cases na, for example, the non-biological, let's say, same-sex couples na dalawang women, the non-biological the partner who is not the biological mother was able to produce milk just by being constantly with the baby. So they're in the same household, maya't maya magkasama at pinalatch lang din.
Are you saying, Vanessa, in that kind of situation, even a female who is in a reproductive age but hasn't gotten pregnant before can be stimulated to lactate? Is
Yes
that
po.
possible? Oh yeah?
Yes po. Yes
Amazing,
po.
huh? It's amazing
Amazing.
pala.
But may
Ah,
may steps po siya, hindi siya kaagad nangyayari. So that person has to really undergo, kailangan niya ng patience at may kailangan siyang process na susundan talaga.
Vanessa,
Yes
meron
po.
ako i-share, ano?
Yes po.
Ito, actual to eh. Sa aso. Meron akong aso na hindi pa nanganak, Dok. Pero nangangaampon siya kahit pusa. May lactating. Aso yan, ha? Nakakapag-lactate siya ng pusa na hindi pa siya nanganganak. May aso akong ganun. So, that is really possible. I believe that. Kasi hindi pa nanganak yung aso eh. Tapos pusa pa. Pusa, nag-aalaga siya ng pusa, hindi aso.
So it's the sucking of the breast, I think, that will
Yes.
start initiating that no?
Apa.
That let down reflex. No?
And the hormones, the smell of the baby that activates the hormones of the mother, yung oxytocin, the prolactin, doon nag-ano siya. So, ganun ka-amazing and ganun ka-intelligent ang body. So, ang
Very
hirap
amazing.
talaga na yung sinasabi, not yung misconception na not all women can produce breast milk. That is just ano siya,
Misconception.
it's a misconception.
Or a conspiracy.
Pwede rin po kasi ano bang di ba sinabi nga kung ang sa bisikleta ay ang ikababagsak niyo pag nagbisikleta lang ng tao, ibabagsak daw ang ekonomiya dahil hindi lang magpa-profit pagka nagbabayad ka. Ano naman pagka nga naman ang karamihan ay magba-breastfeed, merong hindi kikita. May industry hindi kikita because the mothers have been able to breastfeed their children. So there are forces at work to really be a stumbling block to that. And it is very aggressive. So I will call out, this is the aggressive marketing of breast milk substitute. That is the number one hindrance sa bansa natin kung bakit hindi lahat ng mga kababae, ng mga nanay ay nag-breastfeed. Hindi sa dahil hindi nila kaya, kung hindi, parang sinasabihan sila na wag na kayong mag-breastfeed. Mag-substitute na kayo. Parang inuunahan na. So the really unethical marketing practices, isa po yan sa mga dahilan. At saka yung conception yung pumapasok sa utak ng nanay na hindi nila kaya. Kaya mag-give up na lang, magsusupplement na lang sila.
Vanessa, I want to bring up another angle here. No? I would like to ask you, no? Does it disfigure the breast if the mother breastfeed? Kasi marami mga, socialite women, ayaw nila magpa-breastfeed, masisira daw yung figure ng breast nila. What do you say? What can you say about it?
That is one of the biggest myths. Breast milk, did you know that a breastfeeding mother, the calories she consumes from the fact that she's just breastfeeding, it is like a whole day's workout. That's equivalent calories being burned by the mother when she breastfeeds. Because parang our bodies are being dissolved.
I can remember my wife when she's breastfeeding our kids when they were infants, no. Gutom siya lagi pagka nag-breastfeed siya, nagugutom siya, no. Pero ang question ko, will breastfeeding disfigure the breast? Kasi yung mga socialite ayaw nila ma-disfigure, kaya nagpo-formula sila. Well, you have data on that?
Myth po siya.
Kasi
ang disfigurement ng breast is caused by gravity. So eventually, magkakaroon ng disfiguration sa breasts. But it is not because of the suckling baby. No, not ever.
Not because it was used for breastfeeding.
Natural gravity. So, kailangan labanan yung ganong myth na masisira ang figure nila. Actually, mas gaganda ang figure nila. Kasi diba, a woman's body is so sensitive to stress that our hormones go haywire when we are so stressed out. When you breastfeed, more of the love hormones or the hormones on relaxation. Yeah, the oxytocin and the ano po yung happy hormone na isa, nakalimutan ko. It's being,
Endorphins?
yes, the
Endorphin?
endorphins. Yes, those are being triggered when you're breastfeeding. So when you are less stressed, your body functions better. Parang yung ano, yung di ba yung mga chronic illness because of stress, pwedeng ma-mitigate yun kapag nagbe-breastfeed. Kasi the mother would feel more the bond between her and her baby gets stronger. She would feel more confident in her body. And her body she believes that her body is working right. It is what it should do.
Yeah, and also it's also a fulfillment of motherhood, no? She feels fulfilled being a mother when she breastfeeds, diba? Day
Yes
by
po.
day. Yeah.
Yes po.
Vanessa, may question na ako, this is a very issue in the Western countries eh. Yung postpartum stress, Doc, remember?
Yes
Na pumapatay ang mother, etc., pinapatay ang kwan. Alam mo, mayroon lang akong suspect that this so-called postpartum stress, basically, hindi breastfeeding mother ba ito? I don't know, ha? Kaya, sabi mo nga pag nagbe-breastfeeding ka, more on the endorphins, more on the yung mga gano'n, no? Oxytocin, then walang dapat stress. Pero this, I think, postpartum stress. Dahil nagpapadede ng gatas, napupuyat sila, etc. These are, I believe, kung bigyan na ng studies, Doc, baka hindi ito yung mga lactating parents, yung mga may postpartum stress na yan. Kasi tinatanggap nila yan maski sa kaso na pag ang postpartum stress na pumatay ng asawa, pumatay ng anak, o kung anong ganitong ginawa, talagang acquitted eh. So I believe this postpartum stress, which is happening basically sa mga Western countries, ay ito yung mga hindi nag-lactating mothers. I don't know, Doc, ha? I'm just making some
Tito Hill,
meron ba kayong data niyan?
Wala pa talagang conclusive data on this. But what is the real issue is the support that is being. The question is the mother receiving the proper support? Because even breastfeeding mothers experience postpartum distress, depression. I have experienced it because tatlo lang kami, wala kaming immediate family member here. Although I have breastfed exclusively and extended, I also experienced that kasi ang structure kasi na society natin ngayon, unlike before, we used to be really a village. Women are there to help support the mothers, the newborn. Meron taga-luto, may taga-bantay ng ibang mga anak niya. So her focus is just on feeding and nurturing her newborn, her infant. And then yun, di ba yung community, this concept of a village. Unfortunately, our modern society, masyado tayong compartmentalized. Condo living, apartment, duplex, magkakahiwalay. Our support system, the family is separate. Tapos both parents have to work. The stress of having to provide provide a living income for the family, it becomes overwhelming. So it's really about the family and support structure for the mother and her child. The key is we have to protect and support the mother-baby time. Kaya napaka-crucial ng mga fathers. The support of the partner of the father is so important. Kailangan muna nung asawa ay maniwala siya sa kakayahan ng wife niya, ng mother. Kasi di ba yung iba nasa-stress, ay baka wala ka ng milk, bili na tayo ng supplement. O kaya, ibang tatay, huwag ka muna supplement, wala kang pambili ng supplement. Dapat lang. Dapat mag-breastfeed ka lalo. But kasi ngayon di ba, ang nangyayari, kapag may instances din na ang bagong kasal na mag-asawa na may bagong baby, sometimes they live in the different household. Either in-law, or dun sa isang mother, yung family dynamics, minsan nagkakaroon ng clash of the dynamics, nagkakaroon ng yung yung inter-family dynamics nagkakaroon ng tension. So if the support or the family or the community does not support the mother and does not support her in her breastfeeding journey, it can really be stressful for the mother. Dito po natitrigger na ang postpartum depression. So even if the children are already bigger, this can happen anytime. So we have now, especially during this pandemic, that is so heartbreaking. Marami pong mga nanay ang nag-commit ng suicide because they're so isolated. Diba, we had 2 years of isolation. They were told to stay home, do not be involved, do not communicate, or do not socialize with your friends, or essentially your support system. It cut off any kind of interaction. And our mothers and their children have suffered so much because of this. So even in the isolation, we don't have, ito na rin, sumasama na rin yung physiological elements sa katawan. If you don't go outside, you just stay home, what do? You eat, you watch, you do TV, you get gestational diabetes, you get, and then the whole gamut of other chronic illnesses happen. And part of this is the depression that also is associated with an unhealthy environment. So, kailangan talagang bantayan natin ang ating mga nanay, especially mga those with newborn. And we should be ready to offer assistance. How do we offer assistance? Una, wag po natin kukunin yung baby sa kanya. Kailangan natin talagang ma-protect na. Sige, nanay, relax. The only instance is if she needs to rest, pwede sandali. But the best way is cook for her. Do grocery for the nanay. Yung mga tatay, bigyan nyo ng pagkakataon na magpahinga yung mother to lessen her worry, lessen her anxiety. Yung mga kaibigan, they can, pag newborn, we discourage visiting your friend na may bagong panganak. Wag mo na. Let them enjoy this moment. But what you can do, bring food, bring healthy food, give baby showers, anything to help uplift the spirit of the mother. Tapos pwede rin, someone can take the other role of the household chores. For example, yung pagpapaalaga ng iba niyang mga anak, or yung, just to lessen her anxiety or even her burden. Kasi mothers have a double burden. Di ba yung reproductive burden? Nagpapasuso ko na nga, kailangan mo pa magluto, maglaba, maglinis ng bahay. At this crucial time, na kanyang minonurture pa ang kanyang infant or young child, kailangan doon muna siya nakafocus. And this is where the support system should come in and take away some of those burdens from the mother. So the postpartum depression question is, who is helping ease the mother's burden? That should be the question. It's really not a question where you but were you giving support to the mother? That is the question. And we should ask, what happened? We don't ask what's wrong. Parang sinabi natin, something is inherently wrong with the mother. We ask what happened. And then we help trace what were the triggers. What happened during this mother's life? What happened? Help trace back. Meron bang trauma in the family? Meron bang significant life event that really affected her mental and psychological state? So, marami po. So, it really takes a village. In raising a child, even sa breastfeeding, so it really takes a village. So, sa breastfeeding, it's not just about the baby, but also the mother. We should give support to the mother as well.
One aspect, Vanessa, that I would like to bring out, since we're talking about breastfeeding. In another different topic, breastfeeding can also be contraceptive.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm so impressed actually with your topic kasi now we should be educating the whole family na kasi alam naman natin maraming Pilipino gusto ko agad mag-formula. And it's a burden. Mahal-mahal ng formula kung if you can imagine wage earner lang siya tapos laborer lang siya tapos magbe-breastfeeding. Siguro 50% of the income of that of that breadwinner will be going to the milk. What if you buy a nutritious food for the mother para maganda yung milk niya,
Yes.
di ba? At the
That
same time, let them nurse their infants until they become 4-year-old, even 7-year-old, na contraceptive patuloy, di ba? May contraceptive effect kasi yung breastfeeding. Eh. So,
Apo.
gumaganda yung family economy, di ba?
Apo. Lactation amenorrhea ang tawag po dun sa yung sa contraception, but it needs to meet certain conditions. The mother and the baby should be exclusively breastfeeding for 6 months or longer. At hindi pwedeng nag-supplement. Kasi pag nag-supplement or nag-pump, tapos naiwasan, ay pwedeng mag-dip yung kanyang hormones at pwedeng may time na bumalik ka agad ang period niya. Dapat hindi pa siya nagme-menstruate again.
Ovulate na siya. Mag-ovulate siya.
Oo.
So, dapat pala walang putol yan. Na
Apo.
from birth.
6 months. At least.
But hanggang 6 months lang ba yung lactation amenorrhea? Can it extend for years?
It can be extended. I have a friend whose case, siguro up to 13 months yung kanyang yung period na yun, yung natural contraception. But kasi they never stop breastfeeding. At wala pong supplement, and even sa complementary feeding, tuloy-tuloy pa rin pang pag-breastfeed ng bata, ng nanay. But also, the mere fact that the baby is always with the nanay, so it kind of sometimes discourages intimate moments. Ganun po.
May question lang ako. Doon sa sinasabi mong ini-induce natin na maging lactating na woman, is there any nutritional aspect also to induce yung lactation?
Well, the mother
Meron
has
bang ganon? Meron bang ganon na aside from yung suction?
for one, kailangan healthy yung nanay. Kailangan healthy yung babae.
Ayun.
So, kailangan she has to eat nutritious food. If it needs nutritional supplements, why not? But hindi pwedeng nakadepend siya dun sa supplements. It really depends on the female constantly latching the baby. It's really, the key is her and the baby. Yun talaga yun. So it's the body. But it really helps that she is healthy. Eat her nutritious food. Kasi kahit yung mga galactogog, kahit gaano kadaming malunggay o cookies, cookies yan, kapag hindi naman nagpapasos, wala yun. Yun ang misconception eh. Akala nila, silver bullet, sige, inom lang ako ng pill, that's it. No. It's good. It's healthy for you. But the key is the frequent and prolonged direct
Latching.
the mode para ma-use ang protection.
So, I didn't get it. I missed that. No, Vanessa, are you saying yung galactogog like malunggay?
They
Hindi
do
na,
help.
sometimes it's not that necessary anymore. If ano ang key para hindi na masyadong
Okay.
magulit.
I think we have to fix our mindset. There is data that they are galactogogues. The malunggay, there's another, a Greek term, may ibang herbs. Pero yung mindset kasi, the moment na yung pag kasi sinabi natin na they're the ones that make more milk, it's the mother actually who produces milk. It's the constant drainage of the breast that signals the body to produce more milk. So kailangan mayat maya nade-drain ang breast ng mother. Kaya sinasabi natin, these are good, but do not depend on them for the milk production. The key is really the mother constantly correct latch, correct position, and correct latch to encourage correct drainage and milk transfer from the mother's breast to the baby. Yun po talaga ang key. Yan. Okay lang uminom ng mga galactogog. It's good, it's healthy. Pero yung mindset lang talaga. We have to correct the mindset. The key is still the mother and the baby. Yun ang pinaka-important.
Okay.
Hindi siya shortcut.
Yun, marami tayong nalinawan, Dok.
Oo nga, marami.
Marami
Medyo
kundi-
Bawal yung mga yan ha. Okay lang na uminom. Pero hindi
Tama-tama sa topic nating kalusugan, Dok. Yan ang isang missing link dyan. Malaki pa lang talagang
One other
bagay.
thing, Vanessa, if the mother is drinking milk also, is there some problem there, or is it helpful? What do you think? What do you say about that?
Actually, data has shown drinking copious amounts of milk can cause weight gain, lalo na yung mga so-called formula for pregnant moms because they have added sugar. What we're worried about is the sugar content and the extra calories kasi that can trigger gestational diabetes. Pregnant mothers do not need special formula. They don't need a special diet or special so-called formula for pregnant moms or lactating moms. Okay lang naman po uminom on occasion as a beverage, but yung copious amounts are really not that good for the health. It must better pa rin eating whole food for nutritious food for the mother.
Natural food.
So actually we discourage yun yung unethical marketing din ng industry. They put out false advertising, giving dubious claims that you will have antibodies or better immunity if you drink this, when actually it's your body's key. Yung ganun na. Minsan it is counterproductive for the mother. Kasi pag inom ka ng inom nito mga special formula, it discourages the person from eating healthy food. Diba? Parang junk food in a way. So, iniiwasan yun. And the dangerous po talaga yung sugar, yung amount ng sugar or even the calorie from the sugar components, whether it's glucose or sugar substitute. That's also worrisome.
May I ask Vanessa, from where you are coming, are they discouraging totally the intake of cow's milk or goat's
No
milk,
naman.
no naman for the adults, I mean,
Hindi
or for
naman.
the grown-ups, hindi naman.
It can be drank as a beverage, basta in just moderate amounts. Depend also on if you're in consultation with your nutritionist or dietitian, if you have, yun lang, ang exception lang niya is for certain individuals who may be sensitive to some components of those
Formula.
mga milk, or even yung mga cow's milk, because there are some people who have sensitivities. So yun ang iniiwasan, yung triggers. Kasi some have autoimmune issues, kaya bawal talaga uminom yung iba ng mga ganong other source of bovine milk or yung ganyan. But the case-to-case basis, best to consult with a nutrition. But I hope yung health professional na kinoconsult ay walang conflict of interest na hindi siya bayaran ng any of these multinational companies who are pushing these products. So, yun po ang yung kailangan may discernment din yung tao sa kanyang kinoconsult na health professional. Kasi kailangan talaga walang conflict of interest.
Yes, in government, it's always been a policy we cannot entertain agents, I mean these marketing reps for carrying formulas, no? And even where I'm working in the health centers, we don't allow parents, as a matter of practice, to give them the impression that really formula feeding is not a good practice. No? So we never allow them to bring it even inside the health centers, the formula.
We have a law. We have a law actually on that Executive Order 51 or the Milk Code. So it discourages marketing of these breast milk substitutes amongst health professionals or even in medical facilities. So may batas po tayo na nagbabawal na ang mga health professionals na mag-prescribe or even these industries to promote among health professionals or within their practices sa mga facilities. Bawal po yon. At pwede pong, they will be violating the milk code at pwede pong i-report siya sa meron pong milk code violation reporting system. So may penalties din pong ini-incur. Kaso nga lang, very insidious and very sneaky din yung mga industries na to really find a way to market and do yung tinatawag ng unethical practices. So people have to be really discerning para hindi sila ma-influence. And it really is, that's why we have to hold our medical professionals, our health professionals to a higher standard. This is not all health professionals are aware of the law, the milk code. And they're not all aware that they are already violating the code by receiving gifts or even yung mga free items and giving it to their patients. Bawal po yun. They are not aware, but sometimes ignorance of the law does not excuse them from being penalized for these. Hindi siya excuse. At batas po siya, executive order siya. Yung mga trainings, yung mga gift, yung mga sponsored events, bawal po yun. But it is still being violated. So may clear conflict of interest.
Partner, talagang sinasabi mo, partner, na mahaba pala talaga, kaya lang yung oras natin, limitado Ay, Doc, mayroon pala mo na, bigyan mo natin ng daan to, Doc, kasi matagal na itong nais magtanong sa inyo, si Edith Lopez, sinasabi kasi niya dito, Doc, na yung mother daw niya, 8 months na po na, 8 months na po kasi na nag-suffer ng pain sa may lower right quadrant niya, nagre-radiate pa yung pain hanggang sa likod niya. Nag-take lang siya ng tramadol for pain. Wala na kaming kumbaga kung pwede po siyang magpakonsulta daw sa inyo, Doc, o kung anong maibibigay mo sa kanya.
Yeah, it's an abdominal pain, right lower quadrant. So, it has to be seen, dapat ma-physical examination siya ng doctor. Hindi pwedeng tinitiis-tiis lang niya. No? Maybe kung, female ba siya? Maybe she will need...
mother female.
She will need an ultrasound. Tingnan, baka mayroong problema sa ovary, whatever, no? Hindi pwedeng basta gamot lang. Kailangan pag ganyan may mga pain, tapos nagra-radiate pa. Tapos right lower, nandyan lang naman appendix at saka itong ovary. So it has to be seen, like physical examine. Yeah.
Dahil nga sana niya, Doc, kung pwede daw sa inyo magpa-examine siya, kung po pwede, kaya lang kayo po ang makakasagot.
Availability ko kasi, I was supposed to go to Quezon today. I'm doing some construction there in my farm. So it's not possible. At the same time, yung clinic ko, I work with the government, pero indefinitely ba ko, I don't know if I can use that facility.
Okay, sige. Sasabihin na lang po. Nakikinig naman po sila, Doc. Napansingan nila na hirapan.
She needs to be seen by a doctor para magkaroon ng physical examination. Hindi pwedeng online lang, titingnan ko lang, hindi pwede. Iba yung napapalpate siya na exam.
Okay po, Doc. Dito naman po, Doc, si Ma'am Tess, Doc. Ang sabi niya, nasa Tokyo, Japan siya.
Fred, excuse, I think we have to exit. We have to give Vanessa a good exit kasi we cannot just cut her. We have learned so many things. It's so amazing that we got a lot of amazing information from Vanessa. Thank you very much, Vanessa. Before kasi now they're putting up a lot of questions sa akin pero sana muna natin si Vanessa. Natin siya. It's not just thinking, it's creating, and really we learned so many things from you, Vanessa. Talaga. I'm sure yung audience natin, maraming rin silang ipagpapasalamat sa iyo. Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Maybe there's still any important information that you need to deliver to us. We still want to hear. Meron pa bang na-miss out ka? Information.
Hindi pa naman.
The last thing you were discussing was about the laws already, and it's very important.
Yes po. That is a separate topic. It is a very heated topic po siya that requires another time talaga.
Actually, Doc, we can invite her again kasi sabi nga niya, I have 4 topics. Sabi pa nga niya, 4 hours yun.
Beginners
So we
lang,
can-
basic breastfeeding basics. It takes us 4 hours just for the basics of breastfeeding. There's so many things to unpack, but I think the real message that we have to remember is women, we are beautifully designed. Our bodies are wonderfully made. Kaya po mababa ang breastfeeding rate kasi sinasabihan ng mga nanay, wala kayong milk, you're incapable. It is all in the mind. It is a misconception. And we have to fight that with evidence-based practice, evidence-based protocols then or practices. So we owe it to the mothers and their families to provide the latest up-to-date information on breastfeeding. Lalo na ngayon, there are so many pathogens going around and there are so many variants coming out. The most secure, food secure, and the most, let's say, medically more capable of immunologically strong are breastfed babies. So, kailangan, especially during the pandemic, kahit may sakit ang importante, kahit ang may sakit ang nanay, all the more she needs to breastfeed her baby. So her antibodies will be passed on. Ang kailangan ay gumawa tayong paraan to protect, to create a shelter or protected space for the mother and her baby to be together. Hindi iihiwalay. And the mother should be supported to breastfeed. Ayun po.
So even if the mother has fever, she should breastfeed, huh?
Yes po.
That's a very important point.
Oo. Huwag ihihiwalay ang baby. That is the most dangerous thing to do, to separate the baby from her mother. They have to be together. Kaya napaka-importante to protect the mother-baby dyad.
We have learned so many things from you, Vanessa. Really. With the few minutes that we have, kulang na kulang, Hil.
Kulang.
Oo, laking kulang.
Next time, ibabalik pa natin si Vanessa.
Oo, para maipagpatuloy yung doc.
Mamili na lang po ng topic. I think the other pressing topics that maybe your patients or the audience would really like to know. So para ma-focus din natin kung ano yung pinaka-importante po talagang pag-usapan. Kasi hindi lang siya about the mother. It's a society, it's the community. So marami pong aspects po siyang kailangan pag-usapan.
Okay.
Sige, maraming
Thank you,
salamat
Vanessa.
po.
Thanks for your time. Huwag kang magsawa.
Thank you for your patience and the technical issues. Salamat po.
Marami kami natutunan.
Thank you.
Fred, ano yung may mga tanong dyan na kailangan?
Sige po. Alam niyo po ako.
Okay, sige, bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Nasa Tokyo, Japan po siya. Ang anak daw po niya today, may sakit na COVID. May binigay na gamot ang doktor doon. Pwede ba daw siyang mag-take ng ivermectin kasabay ng gamot niyang iba?
Paxlovid.
Oo, yung sa ibang araw. Tapos may ubo siya. Nasa bahay lang siya. Magkasama daw sila, pwede bang mag-take? At ano ang dose at ilang beses sa isang araw? Salamat po, good evening. Cites, Ricote.
Okay. So, ang isa lang ang may COVID, yun ba ang tanong? Tapos
Yung anak lang po niya, pero magkasama sila sa bahay.
Actually, ako, iba ako sa pananaw sa ibang mga doctors. Hindi ko i-isolate yung ibang family. Basta nag-take sila ng ivermectin. That's where the difference is. You have something, you are taking something that protects you. And it's not a 100% protection na hindi ka magkaka-COVID kung ikaw ay nag-ivermectin. Magkaka-COVID ka rin pero protected ka internally. So magkaka-COVID ka, mild lang. And maganda nga, minsan sinasabi ko nga, it's good you got the COVID Kasi what will happen next will be magkakaroon ka immune response after that. May konting sakit, magkakasakit din, pero you will survive it. And then, magkakaroon ka ng natural immunity. So hanggang hindi nagpumasok lahat ng tao sa ganyang process, hindi matatapos yung pandemic, hindi ma-reach yung herd immunity. So the more practical thing to do is, meron akong regimen dyan post-exposure prophylaxis ang tawag kung na-expose ka sa may COVID. So what you do is take 2 capsules daily for the next 5 days. 3 to 5 days. And then, of course, make yourself healthy. Take vitamin C, get sunshine, fresh air, and all that. No? So, kung ang question, the way I understand it, ang question ano bang gagawin? Hihiwalay ba kami? Iinom ba kami ng ivermectin? Of course, iinom ka dapat. Inom ka 2 capsules daily or even 3 capsules daily for the next 3 or 5 days. And then do the same thing. Kailangan ng pasyente alagaan.
Oo,
Diba?
tama.
So mapapansin ibang approach ko kung sa sabihin dali niyo na sa ospital, i-isolate na, hindi na. Tama-tama yung binigay sa atin ni Vanessa, di ba? Yung baby at mother, kahit may sakit, huwag mo ihiwalay yung mother.
Hiwalay. Yun ang critical point. Critical information yun.
Kasi ang health kasi, hindi lang talaga physical yan, may social aspect ang health. So dapat kino-consider yun. Nasagot mo
Doc, may
yung question? Nasagot kaya?
Nasagot niya, nakikinig po siya, Doc, at nanonood siya ngayon sa YouTube. May tinatanong si Edith Lopez, Doc, kung pwede ba daw ipadala niya sa akin yung result ng CT scan ng nanay niya. Posible ba daw po yun, Doc?
Okay, ano bang organ yung CT scan?
Yung kanina, yung back spin naman. Yung yung masakit.
Yung
kanina,
sa right, ano? Oo, sige.
Sa right.
Sige, yung right lower quadrant. No? Kung mababasa ba niya kagad yung impression diyan, yung pinaka-impression pa, makukommentan ko na kung mababasa niya.
Kung mababasa mo raw, Edith Lopez?
Or i-type niya para
tapos, Doc, sa'yo, Doc, si Philip George, natanggap daw niya yung medical certificate sa kanyang asawa at kanyang anak at si Santiago Dries. Salamat daw, Doc, ng marami. Marami po tayong Doc sa atin ngayon. Kaya tuwang-tuwa sila na dumating ka raw eh. Kaya masaya daw nakita ka niya. Yeah. Hindi nila alam kung nasaan ka. Sabi ko sobrang busy ni Dr. Alan Landrito eh. Kasi alam niyo naman yan eh. Tsaka, Doc, nagpasalamat Doc si Ma'am Tess. Yan sa Japan.
Okay.
Ngayon, yung inano natin kanina. At marami pa sana tayo. Kaya lang ang oras kasi natin limitado eh. Parang napagkabilis eh. At saka kanina, Doc, nawala ako. Nag-run out dito sa amin.
Meron pa question pa daw.
Meron pa bang questions dyan? Kung pwede tayo mag-extend.
Wala na. Puro pa sa salamat eh. Puro pa sa salamat. Ay, nagtatanong pala siya kung saan daw siya nag-buy daw siya ng ivermectin sa Pilipinas. Oo. May stock po ako dito sa Japan. Mayroon na siyang stock sa Japan. Kaya ang hinihingi niya, Doc, ilan daw ang dosage? Inumin ng anak niya. Yung kanina, si Ma'am Tess. Yung may COVID na nag-iisang anak.
Yung may COVID, di ba nasa website ko, www.drlandrito.com. Pagka may COVID ang isa, reach ka agad yung high enough dose. Kung mild, start ka agad ng 3 capsules. Adult pinag-usapan natin. 3 capsules, kung moderate, 4, kung severe, 5 agad. So pag next day hindi pa maganda, dagdagan na kaagad. Kung nag-start siya ng 4, 5 na kaagad next day. Or pwedeng, kung male yan, pwedeng 2 idagdag, 5 na agad. 6 na agad. Diba? Dagdag hanggang ma-reach yung high enough dose. Pag sinabi high enough dose na reach na, gumanda na yung pakiramdam niya, mas maganda na pakiramdam ko ngayon kaysa kahapon. Yun yung high enough. Or kaya, high enough na kung nag-side effect na, nag-spill over na, sumobra na yung ivermectin na saturate na niya yung spike protein ng virus, wala siya mapupuntahan, central nervous system spillover siya, kaya nagkakaroon ng visual changes. Yun na yung high enough. Bababa pa niya ng konti para mawala yung side effect na yun. So pag na-reach niya yung high enough, 3 days siya sa high enough, after that, tapering niya, bawasan ng 1 capsule a daily hanggang sa maging 2 capsules na lang. Then maintenance 2 capsules hanggang full recovery. Yun ang paulit-ulit na protocol natin. Noon pa, no, diba? Noon pang last year yan na ang natin pagka-COVID. Yun namang mga nasa palibot niya, post-exposure prophylaxis, yan, na-expose sila. Hindi mo masasabing hindi na-expose eh. Sabihin na sa kabilang kwarto naman eh. Iisang hangin yan eh. Diba? So, airborne yan. So, dumadaan sa hangin. So, post-exposure, 2 capsules ka agad every day for 5 days. Or 3 days pwede. 3 to 5 days.
Okay,
Depende rin
nasagot
sa
po
weight
ni
niya.
si
Kung
Ma'am
overweight
Tess.
siya, mas madami.
Okay, maraming salamat. Doc, anong masasabi mo? Sana, Doc, sa sunod sa Merkulis, Doc, kasama ka pa rin namin eh. Kasi marami naghahanap sa iyo eh. Hindi ko kasi kaagad napabasa yung text kanina dahil naka-YouTube siya. Mabuti na nagpasa si Sir Antonio sa akin ng message. Kaya na ano ko. Ano
Sure,
masasabi mo, Doc, sa mga nakikinig sa atin? Yung last,
okay. Of course, ganito, I was out for the past 10 weeks. Wala ako dito sa Radio Kalusugan, pati yung ibang exposure ko. Kasi, ang naging concern kasi ng mga tao ngayon, yung vaccination injury, no? Vaccine injury. Ayoko maging masyado controversial pagdating. Siyempre, hindi nila itong mga sakit na ito, hindi raw gawa ng vaccine. Pero maliwanag, ang daming mga sakit ngayon. Pati yung mga may COVID ngayon, karamihan sa kanila vaccinated. So kung magsasalita ako, magagalit sa akin magalit sila sa akin. Ano? Kasi alam mo, sasabihin ko, anong use ngayon ng vaccine ninyo? Karamihan na nagkaka-COVID ngayon, vaccinated. Ano pang use na? Basta purpose ng vaccine, wala pa lang nagagawa siya. Bakit tuloy pa? Ganyan ang mga sasabihin ko doon sa past 10 weeks kung nagsasalita ako noon. Kasagsagan ng maraming COVID vaccine injury. So, friends, ganito pa yung mga kaibigan natin dyan na nakikinig. I've been telling it na sinulat ko rin sa libro ko that was December 2020 pa no? Na everyone will get infected. It's just a matter of time. Unless we are living literally in a sterile bubble, no? Hindi tayo mahahawa. Pero it's a matter of time, somehow, kahit naka-ivermectin ka, mahahawa ka. Ang good news is 80%, sinabi na ng mga expert nung araw pa, asymptomatic, hindi nila alam, nakalanghap na sila, hindi nila alam, nag-immune response na sila, hindi nila alam, may natural immunity na sila. Hindi na sila dapat sana natatakot. Kaso natakot sila, nagpapabakuna pa, na-forfeit tuloy. Nawawala tuloy yung natural immunity, kaya nagkaka-COVID sila ngayon. Dapat natapos na ang pandemic kung ito na naman. Ayoko magsalita ng ganito. Kung hindi nagbakuna, sana tapos na pandemic. Nagkaroon na reach na herd immunity. Pero what can we do? Yun ang pananaw nila. So, of course, I believe na sinasabi ko ang tama. And they believe yung ginagawa nila naman ang tama. So, kaya may clash. No? So, we cannot help it. Kaya, umiiwas ako for the past 10 weeks. Umiiwas ako. Anyway, ang masasabi ko ganito, continue taking ivermectin. You will still get COVID kung lalo kung nabakunahan. You will still get it. Pero magiging milder na lang. Pero ang nakakalungkot kasi kung nakuha yung bakuna, yung mas matitindi, yung mga genetic like mRNA, adenovirus. So, mahirap, hindi natin alam ang iba pang possible consequences. At ang nakakatakot dito, ayaw ko nga magsalita, matakot mga tao pa no? Dumadami yung nagkaka-cancer at ang nakakalungkot pa, pag nagka-cancer, advanced ka agad. Advanced stage ka agad. Hindi na dumando sa stage 1, 2, 3. Minsan, stage 4 ka agad. As an outcome of the vaccine. Matagal na sinabi ni Dr. Jose Oclarin, sinabi niya, merong reverse transcriptase sa katawan natin, bigyan mo RNA, mRNA yan, because of the reverse transcriptase, magiging DNA yan inside the body. So, kaya nakakatakot, no? Kaya ganyan nangyari. Siyempre, nagre-react ang immune system, masyadong nagdi-dysfunction ang immune system, kaya malabas yung mga cancers, lalabas autoimmune disorders. Sana hindi lahat ng nabakunahan magkaganon. And I believe hindi naman ko. Portion lang sa kanila. Pero sayang naman. Kaya I still advocate not to get vaccinated. Yun lang masasabi ko. And then make yourself always build on your health. Take nutritious food, wholesome, iwasan yung bad oils, iwasan yung sugar, and then get the sun, and then have a good supplements, wholesome foods. And then kanina in-emphasize na natin, may social aspect rin ng health. Always be with good friends. Huwag masyadong, kung mag-alcohol, konti lang, di ba? Hindi naman totally masama alcohol. Pero konti lang, huwag naman yung abuse. And then of course, do away with smoking and all that. And do some form of exercises every day. break a sweat every day. Walking, brisk walking, running, pwede. Or swimming. And always be wholesome. No, yun lang naman. So it's good that we're talking about health, and as long as I live, I would like always to talk about health. At sana maging healthy bawat isa sa atin.
Okay, maraming salamat, Doc Alan. Sir Jill?
Yun nga eh. Isang critical na information na nakuha natin kay Vanessa. Di ba naalala mo, Doc, sa Zoom, na merong bagong anak na ina na nagkasakit, inihiwalay sa kanya? Di ba nag-react tayo na hindi dapat nangyari yun? Now, this is kahit pa paano, kinonfirma din ni Vanessa na the more that the infant or the child that is lactating needs the mother. So kahit may sakit yung magulang, ay nagkikreate ng antibodies yun, which the child benefited through lactating. So malaking importanteng kwan yun ngayong panahon kasi, Doc, sa pandemic talaga, ang mga ganyang critical moment, we should give special attention to those lactating mothers kasi very vulnerable din ang bata. So it's really a good thing that we had Vanessa as our guest, no? Malaking bagay yung mga misconception na yung mga natutunan natin sa kanya. Malaking bagay po talaga yan sa kalusugan ng ating mamayan. Yun lang po. Magandang araw sa ating mga tagapakinig at tagapanood. Partner, ano masasabi mo?
Okay, maraming salamat sa lahat ng sumusubaybay sa Radyo Kalusugan at nagpapasalamat din kay Dr. Alan Landrito na makasama na rin natin si Doc Alan. Medyo mahaba-haba na hindi natin nakakasama eh. Kaya maraming salamat sa inyo, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao, pati na sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo sa ating mga OFW. Maraming salamat at salamat din sa Radyo Kalusugan sa inyo pong pagsuporta sa amin. At magandang araw sa lahat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Doc, kailan tayo pwedeng magkita-kita uli? Marami nang tayong kailangan i-update.
Sir Jer, lipat tayo sa Zoom.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Naka-live pa rin tayo, Sir Jill.
Naka-live pa rin yan.
Oo nga, pala, partner eh. Maraming salamat at marami tayo. Kasagutin ko lang si Doc Alan.
Buti yung ganitong mga topic natin at nakakatulong din talaga sa ating mamamayan, tsaka yung mga misconception which is very critical. Lalo sa mga babae at saka sa mga bata. No? So malaking bagay ito. Imbitahan din natin uli si Vanessa sa ibang topic naman na maaaring ma-enhance pa yung mga awareness ng ating mga kababaihan, mga mother-to-be or mothers already, at yung pwede pong kahit hindi pa kayo nakapagpasuso noon ay hindi pa rin huli, pwede pa rin po kayo magsimula magpadede ngayon kahit sa simula hindi kayo nagpadede. Yun ang isang mga natutunan natin dito sa programa ni Vanessa. So I hope yung mga tagapakinig natin wag mawalan ng pag-asa sa kabubuti ng kanilang anak at saka kabubuti ng ina. No? So kailangan natin talaga yung mga suporta nito eh. Kailangan din nating ibigay yung mga lahat ng suporta sa ating ina at anak nila. So wag po marami po tayong dapat na baguhin ng mga maling pananaw at yung mga maling propaganda ng ating mga pharmaceutical companies na yung formula mas maganda, substitute sa gatas ng ina, kailangan nung talaga nating yan. Kailangan nating labanan yung ganung maling mga pinapalabas na mga propaganda o maling impormasyon na pinalalaganap, no, sa mga, at saka yung sinasabing mas masisira yung figure, mga ganitong klaseng mga hindi naman base sa isang scientificong ano. So kailangan ho talaga tayong
Okay, sige, maraming salamat sa
mm.
lahat ng bumubuo sa Radyo Kalusugan. Partner, pasok ka sa Zoom.
Okay.
Nag-antay si Doc. Sige, maraming salamat, Sir F, Sir at Sir Roy Bato sa inyong pagtangkilik sa amin.